Hey everyone, I'm Elijah, and what we have in front of us is the NETGEAR GS752TP. So, this is one of NETGEAR's more popular switches. This could be used in business environments or maybe your home setups, right? If you have sort of a quasi-business setup, or if you're experimenting, setting up NASs, this can be good for those type of use cases as well. In our case, we're gonna just be unboxing it. We'll go over some of the more common configurations, such as setting up VLANs and going over some of its features. So this unit does come with a lifetime warranty. It also comes with Insight, and I've used Insight quite a bit now. And I've also played with Cradlepoint's platform or portal, along with Peplink and Seago, and Insight is really well put together, right? And I was speaking with some of the people over at NETGEAR, and they have some really good plans coming up. So Insight is something to keep an eye on. Here we have the power cable. Just a standard power cable. Rack ears, rack mounts. And we have the unit, okay? Installation guide, of course, right? Just going over how to set it up, because this is a unit that you could either put inside of a rack or you could have it on your desktop as well. You have Insight registration. And then you have the unit. So, it doesn't come with a whole bunch of things thrown in your face in the box. You just have the unit, which is what you paid for, and you have the guide, which I think is great. And here you go. It's a good angle. And there you go. Here's a switch. I think I want to move it to an even better angle, maybe get some better shots. I'll throw them in there. But yeah, here we go. So, we have 48 ports of 1 gigabit Ethernet. All 48 are also PoE Plus as well, so you can plug in IoT devices such as cameras. You could also set up other devices for your smart home, I've seen in other personal use cases as well. You also have the 4 SFP connections, right, which you could also aggregate together in order to increase your overall throughput. And these are 1 gig. Switch also comes with SNMP. It's also very energy efficient. You have 802.3AZ if that's something that you're concerned about. Like I said, limited lifetime warranty, advanced QoS, and overall it's 104 gigabits of throughput. I also just checked to confirm, because some units are different, but this one comes with 1 year of Insight for free, which is good. So I'm going to plug this unit into my computer, and we're going to go to the admin panel. We're going to take a look at some of the basic settings or configurations that we could do, such as setting up VLANs, configuring the PoE ports. A lot of this stuff you could do within Insight, and I'd actually recommend going through Insight, but I think for the sake of this video, we're going to do it just through the panel itself. And I also have a video on Insight just going over how to set it up, provision it, and add your device. Alright, so the switch is now plugged in. It doesn't make too much noise, especially compared to some of the other switches that I've worked with. I have that black cable going to my laptop over there. And then its WAN connection is coming from my PR60X in that corner. One more thing to note, if you ever have this plugged into a switch rack and you need to access this switch, I don't think a lot of people are aware, but there is a switch discovery tool that NETGEAR does offer. And once I take you to my screen, I'm gonna show you how exactly to get that, because I feel it's a really useful tool that you can add to your arsenal. Okay, so we're gonna start with the switch discovery tool. All I did was Google NETGEAR Discovery Tool, and I'm going to link this in the description as well. You would just go to Downloads. We're on a Windows. Download. And that's it. You unzip it, run the exe file, and we'll skip ahead here. And there you go. It's as simple as that. Okay, we click Start Searching. Wow. And there we go. We already found it. So, you could also just click admin page. It's always going to be the client address of the switch, but it might ask that you register the device, right? And we can go ahead and do that. I'm gonna skip ahead here. So now we're at the admin panel. You also have the option to skip ahead, but I wanted to add this to my insight, so I went ahead and did that. The passwords on the bottom of the unit, make sure to change that once you get in. There you go, it'll automatically ask you, but not all of them automatically ask you, so to make sure, just for security purposes, that you do go ahead and keep that on the top of your mind. So I'm here on the admin panel, and one thing that you can use if you're not super familiar with the panel itself, you can always go to the index feature that they have here on this sub bar, and it has everything all in one pane of glass, right? All in one tab. So if you need to find PoE settings, like we're going to do now, you could just scroll down a little bit, click PoE, and we're going to click on PoE port configuration. Now that we're on the page, the only thing that you would really need to worry about here is just the port power, which shows the PoE status, and maybe just the status itself and fault status. As long as there's no errors, you should be fine. And if you ever are confused about what a certain feature might mean or what it does, they have a really good window here that goes over all of those details. So again, this is where you'd enable or disable those PoE port if you want to save power, for example. All right, we'll go talk about VLANs. Apologies for the odd cut. My camera actually ended up dying on me, so instead of immediately filming, I went ahead and I grabbed my access point here for the purposes of showing off how VLANs work, how to set up a guest VLAN, and it's also PoE, so just thought that would be a nice touch. So yeah, I have this Wax 610 here, and we're gonna set up a guest VLAN on it. Okay, continuing from where we left off, we're gonna head to VLAN and then click on Basic, and here's where we'll set up the guest VLAN. So we're gonna give it a VLAN ID of 10, and then we're gonna name it guest. Oops. Then we'll click Add, and boom, it's that simple. So the VLAN is created. Now we need to assign the VLAN to a specific port. So we're gonna go back to Index, scroll down a little bit. We're gonna go to Port PVID Configuration second. Okay, we're gonna scroll down. And as I shown earlier, we have this access point connected in port 47 of the switch. So we're gonna highlight port 47, scroll up, and here's where you'll change to PVID, the VLAN member, and the VLAN tag. We're gonna click Apply, and that's it. So now that port will be able to see this guest VLAN, right? But it's not only seeing the guest VLAN, but also the native VLAN as well. So a lot of times when you're setting up guest VLANs, you don't want access to the native VLAN for security purposes. A lot of people will set up different SSIDs, or they'll disable the access to the admin panel. So for that, we're gonna go back to Index, scroll down, you're gonna find VLAN membership, okay? So right now we're looking at VLAN ID 1, and it's already untagged because I was looking at it a little bit earlier, but by default, it'll be set this way. And you would just simply select which port you don't want to have access to VLAN 1, and you would just set it there, just like that. You click Apply, you go to VLAN 10, and you'd set it to untagged. Again, I did go in here a little bit earlier, so some of my settings did change. Hope that wasn't super confusing. But that's essentially it. So you've set up PoE, we've set up a VLAN, we've assigned that VLAN to a port, and we've managed what VLAN that port is able to have access to. I think that's all that will be needed for the basic use cases of this switch for most people. I want to go over more advanced configurations, so please give me recommendations. Let me know what else you'd like to see. I'm very open to trying new things. And yeah, I really hope that you guys found this helpful. Again, this is something new that I'm trying, and thank you. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.